more Chevrolet. I went in there and said, and I went to North Carolina to try to get a job at race team. About wrecked the car in front of his shop. Found a bike.
Are we good?
Numbers are showing.
Okay, as long as we got numbers. All right, Amy, please note that all council members are present for tonight's meeting. And since we canceled our January meeting, we need to take a few minutes here at the beginning of this meeting and reorganize the council. So we will open the meeting for nominations for council president.
I nominate Jeff to remain council president for this year.
I'll second.
I've got a motion to second. Those in favor? Thank you. We'll open the,
We don't do it now or later?
we want to go ahead and finish reorganizing, or we want to conduct our business first? It matters to me.
You can go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Open the floor for nominations for council vice president.
You can go with Matt. I mean, Mark.
Mark? Got a nomination for Mark. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconds all around the house.
Yeah.
Those in favor? Next, we've got Drive West Central. We have 3 letters, one from Doug Bates, one from Tanya Bedwell.
I'll make the motion for Tanya Bedwell.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion for Tanya Bedwell for Drive West Central Board. Those in favor?
Sorry.
I'll get rid of things.
That's leader of the list. That's leader of the list, Logan.
I thought it was a bunch of Flintstones or
Yeah,
something.
me too, though. Who all
That
voted?
was.
Everybody. We only have one to that board?
Only have one.
Yeah.
That's what it says. Next on the list is 4-H. Mitch is our current representative on the 4-H board.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Okay, all around the house. Amy, pick one. Those in favor? Solid Waste Board. Wes is our current representative.
And I'll stay there if you'll have me.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I've got a motion second. Those in favor? The Succeed Board. Current representative is Matt Chigadance.
I'm fine staying on if they want.
I'll make it.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Good. Those in favor?
I second myself.
You second yourself.
Not thinking.
The Emergency Management, I'm the current council representative for that board. and
You
I will be willing to
stay
stay.
on there? If you don't, that
He's
hurts my
interested.
interest, but if you want.
Doesn't matter. I mean, I'll stay on, but if you want it, I'll let you. No, said I'm willing to do it, but I don't mind sharing the opportunity as well.
I'll nominate you.
Okay, I'll second.
Motion second. Those in favor? All right, now the big one. Not really, we've got the insurance committee. The catch with the insurance committee is we need to have a meeting this week. So, need 2 people with an open schedule. 3 people preferably with an open schedule. Currently it's Wes, Mitch, and I.
Is that a day shift?
So
open?
are you
I'd like
guys
to
all
stay
got
there.
open schedules?
I do not, my schedule this week is getting impossible pretty quick.
Is this, you gotta be open during the day or is it evening meetings?
The day shift would probably meet Brant's schedule a little bit easier. I mean, he's our commissioner representative.
Are you guys able to make it?
I don't
I
have.
can't during the day.
that's what
I can if you wanna put me on it, but it's up to you guys. Or I don't have to.
I can't do days.
You can't do days. Do we have anybody else available during the day?
I can do it on Fridays, but not
I can do
every
it
day.
during the days, as long as it's early in the morning or 3 o'clock, or 2 o'clock.
3 o'clock?
I gotta sleep sometime.
You do?
Yeah.
Who needs sleep? Alright, Jackie, Wes, and Mitch.
I can be here anytime, so.
Okay, that's my motion.
All right, we got a motion for the second. Hey, those in favor? Equipment Committee, Mark is our current representative.
I'm fine with it unless somebody else wants to go play with
It's
it.
yours. I make a
It's
motion.
all yours.
Make a motion for a change of these mind?
Yeah.
Was that a second, Jackie?
Yes, that's right.
Those in favor?
You're doing a fine job.
I don't know about that.
Like Community Corrections, JRAC, I know Logan is our current
I
representative.
can't do it. It's a day shift one.
It is a day shift one.
I
That,
thought it was the president's
I was gonna say, that's,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
4 meetings of the year. I mean, as president, I would be willing to.
President of the J-RAC,
Yeah.
community corrections, not so much.
Oh, community
But
corrections.
Community Corrections, JRAC, they meet back to back, 4 times a year.
I'll make a motion for
Well, I
Jeff to
think
do
that's
that.
kind of spelled out by the state.
Yeah.
There.
Okay, we've got a motion, we have a second.
Yep.
Mhm.
For you?
Yep.
Yep.
Who made the motion?
Mark? You say, second, Wes?
Yep.
All right, those in favor? Security Committee, Jackie is our current representative. I think it's also a daytime meeting,
Only
isn't it?
because it's in the daytime.
Well, you get to do it again. I
Oh,
make a motion.
boy.
We have a second?
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Thank you.
No, thank you. Council Attorney, Lou is our current representative.
Change the ringtone.
You're willing to change your ringtone, sir?
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
There we go. Okay. I'll make a motion.
You make a motion if
I'll
you change his
second.
ringtone, all right. The motion is second, those in favor? Right, Redevelopment Advisory Board. We get to pick 3 members. We've received a letter from Jim Petty,
You did?
didn't we?
No?
Okay, I thought we did. I thought you sent that out for the January meeting. Okay. Scratch that from the record,
It was
please.
wrote on there in January.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, her name was on the list, but I don't remember seeing it.
Okay, I thought we got a letter from her.
I mean, she just, it's advisory board,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, that's.
When
council
she
members on
resigned
that.
from it, she said she would
Okay,
do the advisory.
Yeah, that's supposed
I mean, my personal thought is we should have council members on there. It's a very high profile, very important. We have 3 council members that are willing to serve.
I'll stay on it if you guys want me to.
I'll stay on it.
Do we have a motion to that effect, or do
Yep.
we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
With those in favor? And that covers all of our reorganization, doesn't it, Amy?
Yep.
Anything else we- good deal.
Okay.
Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
A motion, we have a second on the minutes.
Yep.
Those in favor?
No, but I want to learn how.
Oh, I'll teach you.
Okay. Come teach me.
Do we need to-
Oh, I thought that thing on like a transcript.
Yeah, we do
So
just
everybody
approve
said you
those.
should use that. That's
We'll do that after the minutes, thank you.
AI, but I've never, that's scary.
But this stuff.
Maybe we already did that in December, I don't
Take a
know.
video.
Well, I think we did the, we did the.
And then we'll double check
The
it.
edit that she wanted to make before we signed off on it.
Tell it to take minutes.
Yeah,
The one that
We
does have to do two
agreed
minutes.
on it, but she was not credit for us to sign.
So, yeah. You know one?
So it wasn't on
Hit me
a
up.
scribbled piece of paper.
I'll see. I'll play
Transferring
around with
funds
it.
to
Like,
complete
do you have an old video?
necessary repairs. Okay.
Send me an old video, like a file of it. And I'll see if I can get you a prompt of it. Every day.
You have your,
Minutes,
the revised,
Yeah.
meeting dates.
yeah, I'll just put that, but you can cut that up
Okay.
next. Thank you.
We need to pass one of those around and sign it down here.
And
Well, but you guys made changes in the December meeting.
Yeah, I just didn't know. if we-
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
next on the agenda, we've got the revised meeting dates and times for 2026.
I make a motion.
Have a second?
A second.
Those in favor? Then you're on deck, Chris.
I emailed this out earlier today, just to show everybody, the report, is that what we're talking about? Before I.
No, you
Got to
transfer.
Okay,
transfer
my
first.
transfers, all right. Basically, just finishing up the repairs that we're needing in that building. We have just enough in the 2026 budget to finish it up, but I had to move some funds around, so I'm not asking for additional funds. Just moving some from one line item to another to accommodate, to finish the project, so. It's gonna take a little bit of management on my end to make sure that where I'm moving it from, has enough to get to the end, cause it's a payroll line item, and I'll manage that with my staff, so.
But you do think with this, you could still get through the year okay?
Yes.
That's what I was just wondering.
I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be tight, but, it's a manpower issue that's manageable, so that's where I'm, having to pull from to make it happen, so. Trust me, other than the sign, that was only the really, the extra thing that needed to be done, but really you need to let people know where you're at too, so. Other than that, everything else was absolutely necessary from the water damage and mold and everything else that was in the building, so.
Then the letter you sent us, you are in the process of moving to the new office?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow you start moving.
Some
Okay.
stuff, yeah.
Very good.
So hopefully by the end of the next week, we should be fully transitioned. The delay was the internet connection, and then after that, it was the phones, but all that was finished last Friday, so. And we did have the HVAC looked at.
Do you have
I'll
a
make a
motion on transfer? Do you have a second on the transfers? Okay. Those in-
Are you doing both of them at one
Yep.
time?
Yep.
Okay.
Those in favor?
Any other questions?
You wanna go ahead and talk about your annual report while you're up?
The annual report, there's a lot in there, real detailed. The highlight really is, we have 63 fewer veterans, from 24 to 25. There's a handful that have moved away, but most of those, we had a lot of pass away. And we're gonna continue to see a decline in our veteran population, just inherently because the Korean War era and Vietnam era are, they're aging out, and then, this next generation isn't joining in those numbers, right? So, gradually, we will have fewer and fewer veterans in this county naturally. But as we, the purpose of this office, one of the main purposes of this office is to provide a veteran-friendly climate for the veteran community, to move here and live here and raise their families here, because as you can see by some of these numbers, there's only a couple offices in this county that are an economic driver, and this office is, by making sure that benefits aren't missed. So that 10% increase you see, 1 year on, from 24 to 25, that's just a direct reflection of, like, survivor benefits not being lost, like when a veteran passes away and then the spouse doesn't get it because they don't know, or how to navigate the VA and stuff like that. So that's just one example, but that's been the biggest category of our uptick, has been survivor benefits, making sure that they stay in the county. And these are all federal dollars that, stay in this community, and you can see the number, 15 million, and that's a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
From 12 county veterans. So, and so there's other property tax things like the state's trying to do right now, because like Amy knows, there's a 240 cap on one of them, so the state's trying to get rid of that. And the reason why the state's addressing that in this legislative session, hopefully it gets done, is because our surrounding states have a better property tax advantage for veterans. And so it's not really to benefit Hoosiers as much as it is to get those other veterans from other states to move here, to have that advantage. So obviously I'm following that, and if anything changes in that regard, that helps, Hoosier veterans, and makes us more, advantageous to come live in Indiana and spend those federal dollars. I'll let you guys know. So other than that, everything's on track. We will be swapping the van out this year, but that's already arranged and stuff. And so as we move through that process, I'll give you guys an update on that too. So I wanted to focus on the office first, and then I'll deal with the van. So, but the van's all basically privately funded, other than what's in the budget for maintenance and all that. So, the Elks Lodge, the VFW, the Legions in the area, they're all covering the actual purchasing of it, so.
Very good, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for everything
You
you
don't
do,
have some
Chris.
money in a veterans donation fund?
I don't know what.
I Thank you, Bill. Not very much.
Okay.
Chris, I ain't know that was you sitting back there.
Yes, Tony.
Yes, all right, it is.
One thing I wanna make you guys aware of, Chris has a very good reputation in the county, and you guys need to know that. He's brought people up to the office and helped them fill out their paperwork when they're under stress and stuff, and, I've seen that and it's gotten around, so he's doing a really good job with our veterans.
All right, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Do you have anything else, Amy?
Nope, that was the end of mine. Rest is all yours.
Good, we'll move on to old business. Anyone have old business to? Move on to new business. Amy Glover with Hamilton Center.
Just a copy of our fiscal year 25 data. Yes, my name is Amy Glover, and I'm here to share the Hamilton Center fiscal year 25 data on behalf of our CEO, Melvin Burks. Staff participated in several events, including the Sullivan County Resource Fair, Recovery Cafe Open House, Sullivan County Hospital Resource Fair, Back to School Bash, Fuel Up Sullivan County Night Out, Ruth House 5K Run, World Suicide Prevention Day, and many others. We served 539 Sullivan County residents. The five most common substances used by the adults were other stimulants, alcohol, cannabis, opioids, and nicotine. Top 3 diagnoses for children included oppositional defiant, conduct disorder, and disruptive mood dysregulation disorder. Top 3 for the adults were generalized anxiety, major depressive, and PTSD. We had 4,461 clinical encounters that year and 87 inpatient bed days used. Main referral sources included self-family, guardians, law enforcement, hospital, DCS, and the schools. 93% of our population served was under poverty level. We had 27,951 in charity care, and 24 Sullivan County residents are employed by Hamilton Center. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we've got Adriva. Lou, would you like to introduce our topic, or Hannah?
I can kick it off, and then we also have representatives from the company
Okay.
here tonight. So this is just, what's in front of you is just a preliminary resolution. So the first step of the two-step process to just expand the area that is eligible for the tax abatement that they've already been approved for. So nothing would be changed with regards to the abatement schedule or anything that was done in 2022. This is for what used to be the Turtle Creek project with Duke, and it's now Sullivan County Power with Deriva. But they've added some parcels and then removed a few parcels as well to that site area. And this is just what's required statutorily to get that area approved for the abatement that's already been signed off on by the council. So in order to do that, this is a preliminary step. This resolution doesn't bind anyone to anything. It's just the first required one. The second would be at another meeting, and it would also be a public hearing, so it would be opportunity for the public to come comment, ask questions. And after that public hearing, there would be a second resolution confirming the boundary change of this area. So it's kind of like a procedural correction, if anything. There are parcels being added, but again, this is not reapproving any abatement or changing the terms that they're subject to under like the EDA, for example. And any change to the EDA that might happen would be only with regard to like these changed boundaries in the construction line, so.
So are we adding parcels to an abatement, is what you're saying?
Yes, but the proposed investment in that kind of thing has not changed. So it's just the site area, and I don't know the reason for the change in 2020,
Yeah, we're also removing some parts.
Okay, cause yeah, that's what I'm looking at, is the declaration of resolution, for revitalization area.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it's amending like an existing economic revitalization area,
okay.
and that's what that map and then.
Well, that's what I was looking at, so you're taking houses out
Yeah,
of,
that gave you a partial number.
I don't know that there's any, this would be for the solar project site, so this wouldn't be where
Assuming that's
people are
right.
living, this is part of the project site that would be eligible to receive
okay,
abatement
so
on the tax
refresh
bill.
my memory, cause it's been, what, 2022 that we worked on this. Is this the new Lebanon area? So isn't that solar back behind those houses? And you're removing those houses from the TIF?
This has nothing to do with the TIF.
Okay,
It's just their payment.
okay, so this is adding to the abatement,
Adding some, removing some, just changing just where those parcels are.
okay,
It's just changing the footprint of the property that will be abated.
okay.
The amount of investment, the amount of employment, the amount of payroll, all that remains the same. It's just going to be where the panels will be sitting.
Or related infrastructures,
Yeah.
yeah. And like the size of the project itself, like megawattage is not changing.
So Lou, we already have this set in stone right now, right? We already agreed on and now we're gonna go back, revisit it and kind of change everything. I'm gonna imagine there's gonna be some paperwork, legal fees, some cost and all that involved in it.
Yeah,
Correct.
so, I mean, if you recall with the Maple Creek project, amendment we did last year, this would require a similar $50,000 amendment fee, or the amendment to the EDA that we would ask the council to consider next time, but that amendment would really only change, the maps that are attached as a result of this, and then just stating, now that it's about to start, like when the construction timeline would actually be, because as you know, we keep seeing these delays in the, permitting authority and the MISO queue, and so we would update that timeline. But this is not, I know maybe there had been some discussion last fall about a lot more proposed changes to this project. This is completely stripped down from what that original proposal from the company was, and it's just this changed abatement area and then that construction timeline, but we would subject it to the $50,000.
So have you started construction? I have a reason why I'm asking this. Because I'm hearing from one landowner, they were told construction has began. And then I'm hearing from other landowners that they're even saying construction has not begun yet.
So I think we can answer that and kind of introduce the project a
Because
little bit if that's
if it's
helpful.
started, it's kinda, I don't know
Yeah.
how we do this if we've already started.
Do you wanna introduce yourself? Yeah, so we'll just introduce ourselves and we can walk through it and we can definitely answer that question because it's a good one. And it has to do with just some of the language in our lease and how that's structured. But I'm Brendan Andrew, I lead, solar development at Deriva. So I took over this kind of mid-late last year, and Patrick Walsh here is on my team. He's kind of taken charge of this project more recently, and so we're trying to kind of, I know you guys have seen a lot of different faces from Duke and Deriva on this project, so we're kind of trying to, reestablish how we work with the county and working to re-enter or to extend the EDA and update the ERA area as part of that effort. So Patrick, I'll let you kind of speak to it.
And so more specifically, for the purpose of redefining the boundaries of the economic revitalization area is to redefine and make sure that all the infrastructure that Deriva plans to bring to the county is subject to those requirements set forth in the EDA. So that also includes those economic development payments, right? That's a function of the amount of investment that we bring. Things like labor, these are all a function of what's inside the ERA. So cleaning that up in the original map and parcel list was a fairly good guess at where our project was gonna be, but that boundary has changed slightly. And to Hannah's point, there were a couple residential parcels in that original ERA, so we do wanna pull those out because it doesn't make sense for those to be included. So we added a couple of parcels to accommodate our phase 1 design, primarily just because our project has changed changed slightly, and we wanna make sure that the footprint and the recorded ERA with the county is equivalent to our site footprint. To answer your question specifically, construction has not physically begun, but in order to preserve our lease rights with the ground that we have under lease, we did have to evolve the lease from what's called the development term into the construction term of the lease. So technically, within the leases, we just have to pay an elevated amount of rent, and that is typically done when you start construction. But since the timeline for our construction actually physically starting construction is not aligned with the expiration of our development term of our lease, we did move those leases into the construction term, so we are paying that.
I would just say we've entered the term of the lease where it allows us to do construction, but that doesn't mean we have started construction.
Okay, because that's what confused me, because the EDA payments were based on when construction begins.
Right.
So it sounds like you got two different sets of rules of, yes, we're in construction, but no, we're not in construction, but we're gonna, for the EDA, you're not, but for the landowners, you are, and it gets really confusing, because it sounds like you ought to have, either we are or we're not.
Yeah, it's just the name of a amount of time in the lease. I would say we're working with the county commission on the road use agreement and the other requirements that are needed for us to physically start construction. So I think as far as physically starting construction, we're making sure we're coordinated closely with the council. We're not using any roads that we're not authorized to use, and we're making sure that we're doing that pursuant to the requirements that are in the EDA, so that we're not running afoul of any of those. But you're right, it is confusing, because there is a term in our lease called the construction term, but all that means is that's the time where we have the rights to perform construction on their property, but it doesn't mean we are performing construction on that property, if that makes sense.
So refresh my memory, Lou, on those abatements, did we have set forth in the abatements that construction had to start by a certain time?
It's in the EDA.
It's in the EDA, okay.
And what was it? Because for some reason, 4 years is in my brain, and I don't know if that's right.
It's been a while.
So they are a little behind, and this is what we're gonna plug into the EDA along with these maps, if you guys approve them, is to extend that construction timeline by a year, because they were, the estimated time, at the time they were approved back in 2022, they thought they were gonna have it done by the end of 2025. With the MISO delays, that didn't happen, but they also knew they were gonna be changing this area, so we're trying to just do all of that in one small kind of technical amendment to the EDA, which we would ask you guys to look over more carefully in the coming month before the next second meeting.
And that's not unique, the delay is not unique to them. We're seeing that with many of these developers. The queues for getting connected to the grid just got delayed, and it has to go through all kinds of approval processes. And there were so many applications submitted, not just for this area, but all over the Midwest, that the queue got backed up, and they couldn't process everything quickly enough, so.
And also refresh my memory, do you have a buyer for your power?
Yes, so we are finalizing our power purchase agreement now, and so that is the agreement that kind of dictates who we're gonna sell the power to. And it's not announced yet, but yeah, we are working hard to kind of finalize that agreement, and that's what allows us to finalize our EPC agreement and start construction all at the same time. So all of that is coming in the next, I would say, 3 months. So we're looking to mobilize for some of the pre-construction activities in March and April. So that would be some light tree clearing, some pre-seeding of the ground, which Patrick can speak to the benefits of that a little bit more. But pre-seeding with a native grass mix to reduce erosion. And then we would be mobilizing for kind of more formal construction later this year, in the kind of summer timeframe.
All right, Lou, that brings a question. As far as the EDA, you have pre-construction work, and then you got construction work. Where does the EDA timeline kick in? Because once you start within, 6 months or 50% of the work, there's a timeline when all this starts. this is kind of what I was going back when they said, yeah, we're under construction, but we're not under construction. And now we're talking pre-construction and construction.
They're under, the leases provide for a construction term of the lease. And typically that will require an increase in payment.
Correct.
The amount of rent goes up. So you've got what's called in the lease, doesn't call it pre-construction, but in the lease, you've got a period of time before construction. During that period of time, they're not allowed to do any construction. So there's no construction allowed. If they want to start construction, they have to pay the additional rent, okay? So in order to comply with their leases, and that triggers an extension of the lease term. If they hadn't started the additional payment, their leases could have lapsed. By starting the additional payment and going to the construction phase for purposes of the lease, they preserve their lease.
So that doesn't
that's
start
all
our
just-
timeline.
That's all just language in the lease. That doesn't really affect our timeline. Our timeline is keyed to completion of construction,
Yes,
actual construction.
Well,
the EDA plans are also triggered like when it's like 50% of construction.
right, so 50%, and there was a
50%,
time,
It's like
there was a
50% of
time,
the
so that's why I'm
solar
wondering, is changing the land?
That's,
That, cause you're changing the property in the county, so that's what's in my mind, it's like, if you're doing that.
can I interrupt you, Matt? I think I know where you're going. Is the land gonna be farmed this year? Is it gonna be for agricultural purposes?
No, this
It's
year,
gonna lay idle.
no, and the landowners that we're working with are aware of that.
And so
So
I
as
would say,
far as I'm concerned, it started construction.
so I would
If you
say,
change the
So
land.
I guess
to me, that's-
just to
sorry.
kind of clarify, give you some timelines and what it's gonna look like. So, one of the things that's important to us here in Sullivan County is learning from past mistakes, like, the Fairbanks project, right? We heard a lot about mucking around in the mud. We heard a lot about erosion and heavy rainfall impacting construction activities. So one of the things that we're employing is this pre-seed ground cover that we're gonna be installing coming in March and early April, weather permitting. What this will do, and that will sit and lay until it germinates and takes, and then we would start full construction in June or July. Then during that time, we would also do some light tree clearing to accommodate our design where the fence lines get in the way of the design. And then in mid-April is when we would plan to start working on our substation. But full project construction of the site facility